Hey people, Intrid here, welcome back to the Elite League show. We're on the third quarterfinal, kicking off here as all the quarterfinals do on Calderis Desert. Say hello to BBB OS with a Lictor Alpha, a melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt with some powerful offense and a bit of support too. Up against is Piano with a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that can leap into combat, powerful disruption and support. This is the same Han Elite scheme with all the fuzz. We got some Banshees, we've got double Termagants for those that don't know or who have forgotten. It's a best of 5 series. The players have already pre-selected the 5 heroes they can use at the start of this knockout stage. They can't use the same hero twice in the same match. I think players generally try to keep their stronger heroes for later on in the series if they need it in those clutch matches when the pressure's on. But there's also some counter picking going on and stuff. Lictor Alpha has found some Banshees. This is a risky fight. Banshees can easily chop down a low level hero. Good special attack. He hasn't used his hook yet either. Massive risk. Gonna get one down. There it is. But yeah, I think this Lictor Alpha's done for. There's the hook. Did it kill another? It did kill another, but the Lictor Alpha goes down. Now they try to run into Termagants, taking a big risk, but they are going to get away okay, I think. Warlock is now tying up the other Termagants. No secondary Avenger for Piano, suggesting going right into Rangers or Shuriken. Rangers will be used to spot, there we go, spot the Lictor Alpha since they are a detector unit. Termagants are all off the field. Lictor Alpha repurchased, and we have Hormagaunts out there capping. Most likely into a Shuriken, but maybe we'll see double Rangers. Banshees are healing up. Dire Avengers are capping. They might eat a hook from the Lictor, although it could be on cooldown still. Does cooldown persist after death? I think it does. Not a whole lot those guys can do if the Lictor Alpha gets in amongst them. Unlike the Banshees, who could do a hell of a lot. Here are the Rangers. Sniper unit with some strong utility, can disrupt from long range and also infiltrate themselves and allies, which can set up some nasty ambushes. They are getting the Pathfinder gear there. Hormagaunt lost, did she say? The weird Tyrannid lady? Yes, she did. They're fighting a Warlock. He's chopping them up pretty good. Strong start for Piano. Gets a little leap there. I hear some pew pew. There we go. Lictor Alpha's been spotted. Takes a big sniper shot. There's that disruptive kinetic pulse. And is dealt with there. Went for the cap rather than hunting the Dire Avengers, which was surprising to me. Double Termagants with no upgrades yet. Gonna want those toxin sacks so they can cripple the Banshees. And of course the Warlock. Speaking of Banshees, Aspect of Fleetness is in. There's the war shout. Just massively bad news for the Termagants. The Rangers came into melee there. Don't get to see their melee animations very often. I think they have a weird little kick I spotted there. Banshees now grabbing the contested central VP. Slight VP lead for BBBOS, despite Piano having the better of the early fights. Here comes the Immolator. Recently changed to have a damage over time effect on its ranged attack, not just the melee attack, which is fun. Helps Eldar bash power, which they can struggle with if they don't have Banshees around. They got the cap and backed away. Here's the Warlock. Gets hooked. Rangers getting shots in from the flank. Hormagaunts dealing with the Banshees there. And now they're in on the Dire Avengers. And down goes the Warlock. Good engagement for BBB OS. Good grenade there from the Aspect of the Avenger. Almost whapped out those Hormagaunts. Rangers are going to run out of energy to infiltrate in a second. Looks like they're going to be okay. It's nasty. Tyrannid came sweeping in. Warlock fell. Just got his shiny new Immolator too. I haven't seen another unit from Piano yet. I guess they were getting aspects up, spending power that way. Rangers keeping maximum range and getting shots in and doing big chunks of damage. Look at that. These days sniper units do pretty good bonus damage versus heroes, I think. Webway taken out there. We have a Ravener Brood for BBBOS. And I feel like Piano really needs another unit on the field. They're going to get overwhelmed. Warlock was repurchased. Leaps in on the Raveners. They start with a ranged Devourer weapon these days. Good special too. Not seen the Immolator thrown out yet. and could have done some work. Maybe they were worried about the Rangers with their kinetic pulse setting up a push there. 425 to 415. Piano gets tier 2 in very good time with a decent amount of resources too. Could see a Falcon here causing all sorts of problems. Maybe some Wraith Guard. Rangers get a shot and run away a bit too far up there. Those guys didn't need to reveal themselves like that. We're going to have a triple cap though, I think, for Piano. Look at these Hormigons. What are they up to? Trying to use that building to block line of sight. Didn't seem to be working out for him. Warlock in retreat path. Gets a smack, gets a kill. 391 to 415. It is a Falcon on the way for Piano. Tier 2 for BBBOS. Single cap now. Looks like they're going to be able to get the 2-to-1 back pretty quickly here. BBBOS, Ravener, Brood capping mid. Banshee's getting caught in good time by double Termagants, which means it's very difficult for them to get into melee with the double crippling poison. These guys have their Exarch leader. Or a Warlock, or whatever he is these days. I think he's an Exarch. You couldn't kill a Termagant, fellas. Come on now. Dire Avengers finishing it off here. There's that kinetic pulse, keeping the Elixir Alpha at bay. Could see a grenade hit. There's a hook, that's for sure. And here is the Falcon. Support vehicle for Eldar. Allows it to reinforce and transport units in the field. Has some good firepower too, this transport. Has some anti-vehicle weaponry. And a whole bunch of anti-infantry lasers going on, or whatever they are. Just bristling with guns, this thing. Immolates on retreat path. And the Destructor, that's nasty. Got a couple of models. You get more red for killing a Termagant than a Hormigaunt, hey? I wouldn't expect that. 6 for a Termagant, 5 for a Hormigaunt, I think. Venom Brood are up for BBBOS. Might have been dropped in fact, by the Lictor. Those guys are an anti-vehicle unit. Pretty good one too, I think. Large amounts of damage. Also provide a Synapse, which BBBOS has been missing up until now. Can also get a specialized ranged Synapse, which will give massive bonuses to the ranged Raveners and the Termagants. They don't have it yet though. Don't see it on the way. I think BBBOS is lacking the requisition to do so. Destructor flies out. Tanked pretty decently there. Does seem to fall off in effectiveness as units level quite sharply, although these guys weren't leveled. Maybe it was just badly aimed. Warlock just straight up ran away. Okay. There's that Falcon. I was expecting Piano to be a little bit more aggressive with this thing, I suppose. They thought the Venom Brood would follow quite quickly. And it's a Wraith Lord now. That's going to be tough for BBBOS to deal with. Falcon and the Wraith Lord. Can't shoot them both with your Venom Brood, and the Wraith Lord gets in, ties them up, it's all over. Lictor have any war gear? Going for the... Oh, was going for something. There we go. Now getting the Scythe Talons. Nope. Goes through all of the weapon options and finally settles on the Toxin Miasma. That was Corrosive Claws. Surprised BBBOS didn't just retreat when that warp throw came in. They tried to stay in. GG, says the Tyranid player, and there is to concede. Didn't think they could deal with a Falcon and a Wraith Lord. I mean, was it a slightly early concede? They did have some resources up. Would have been tough though. Would have been really tough. And they have other games to make up for it. Level 2 Lictor and a level 4 Warlock. 1 up then for Piano, and I'll see you guys in game 2. Hey people, Intrid here, back with game 2 of this Elite League quarter-final. We're on Caldera's Refinery, and BBBOS has found a Force Commander. Very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt, and support with buffs. Piano, rocking a Plague Champion. Starts off in ranged combat with the damage of a Time Bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility, and support, can build turrets and repair, but it's very slow. Black Legion, I think? Yes, we've got Marines into some more Scouts, and Chaos Space Marines into some more Heretics. It's going to be a good time. The two heroes meet. What do you get as a Plague Champion versus a Force Commander? I like going on, unless you're like a vehicle. Scouts here with now a Sergeant, also getting their elite training. A lot of investment on these Scouts. There's those Raptors though, and there they go. Jump troops with 30 melee DPS, also suppressed when they land. Couldn't quite catch these Scouts though. Oh, bolt pistols get a model though. Pretty quick on their feet, Scouts, can avoid most things. Makes them so good in 1v1s. Get around the map, cap things. Poke themselves into engagements and annoy you. CSM without Eternal War. Do we see any war gear yet? No. Tactical Marines have found Heretics to shoot at, but they do get the wreck point rather, without all falling over. Well done, lads. Are the Raptors going to jump them here? Oh, they can't. They don't have the energy. Kraken Bolts getting in some shots. Force Commander's also there. It's a bad fight for the Raptors, but he might just be looking to hold them up a bit. Trying to sneak a Tactical Marine model, maybe. It's going to be tight. Force Commander using his battle cry and constantly buffing these Tactical Marines, which is another good reason to control that guy. If he's suppressed for ages via, say, Unholy Stench, he can't get those battle cry special attacks in and buff things. 1-to-1 cap here, 493 to 420. The central VP looking all lonely. We've got some Nurgle worship, some health regen for Piano's units, able to affect both the Plague Champion and these CSMs. A nasty grenade though for BBBOS. Damage was spread, so they didn't drop a model. Perhaps lucky to do so. Didn't grab the wreck point. Is grabbing that power. Doesn't look like it's being noted though. We have triple gens up for both players. Raptors have healed up and are ready to roll and jump on things. There's some more Nurgle worship. Trying to keep this Plague Champion topped up. Scouts looking for a fight, are they? No. Too much things. Too many things for them to fight. Scouts are going to try and cap mid while the other scouts, the Force Commander and the Tactical Marines engage. There's a jump. Suppresses the attacks, but then they eat a shotgun blast. Note that it didn't knock them over there because they, like most jump troops, have some knockback immunity when they land. It's actually designed to stop them being knocked over while their jump animation is going on, but it persists for a few seconds afterwards. So they were only suppressed there. Now they jump the Assault Marines. Tactical Marines did drop a model, maybe lucky not to drop another yet. What is the Plague Champion doing? Oh, he's trying to shoot those fellas. They're gone. Yeah, I need to retreat. Took his eyes off the Plague Champion there a little bit, but I don't think there was a whole lot that they could do. Are they going to get... Nope. They've gone tier 2. I was going to say, are they going to get a Plague Sword to fight the Assault Marines? But it's tier 2. Assault Squad do their capping thing. Oh, it's noded over here. So they can't just come and grab that. Scouts here not getting fully reinforced. These guys are. Don't know if there was a grenade in that fight. I was not paying enough attention. I think they shot their shotguns and ran away, didn't they? Don't see anything queued up in terms of squad leaders and stuff in tier 2. Raptors have a pretty good aspiring champion. Gets a big old chaos hammer thing. Mace, whatever it is. Maul. I think it's a maul. Having a look at the power here is BBBOS. The first time we've seen the player making concerted effort to bash. Doesn't have a flamer, but got some chainsaws and stuff. They'll get it done. Here comes Piano to defend. Doesn't want to lose power just as they get to tier 2. Not sure what Piano is referring to there. Shoulder mount is a player. Maybe they were observing or something. 493 to 381. It's a 2-to-1 cap for BBBOS. Didn't bash anything. Assault Marines are waiting all sneaky like. Are the Heretics going to move? They are. They have an aspiring champion, so they're going to fight the Assault Marines reasonably well, especially since, well, rather before they get their tier 2 Sergeant and Merciless Strike and stuff. Marines dropping a model again. There's some Nurgle worship. Better used when you're also in cover, but they're making it work. There's a jump. There's another jump. The Raptors now have their aspiring champion with that big old heavy melee maul. Scouts somehow only dropping a single model. These scouts have been a lot tougher than the Marines, it seems like, in this game so far. Assault Marines dropping a model. Good engagement for Piano. Got a Blood Crusher now. Space Marines can respond very quickly to vehicles, but they can't really do it cheaply. I'm going to pay for that versatility. Here is the Blood Crusher. It's a Bloodletter riding a Juggernaut, and it's awesome. Has some heavy melee damage. Not the toughest vehicle around, but you can heal it up with worship. Since it's a demon, and it can charge around and charge out of trouble, that kind of thing. Gonna grab mid then. Was expecting the Raptors maybe to come and jump for this VP, but just keeping them ready to strike. There's that aspiring champion with the awesome looking maul. That thing looks painful. Plague Champion gonna grab the mid. No war gear. Here comes a Dreadnought for BBBOS. All of a sudden, it's pretty bad news for the Raptors. They're gonna get munched by a Dreadnought. No war gear for the Force Commander too. And the Chaos Space Marines get Mark of Zinch and an aspiring champion. Gives them those Inferno Bolters and a plasma gun. A demonic plasma gun, in fact, for the aspiring champion. There's the jumps. Dreadnought is not out yet. Needs to take advantage of this time as they can. There's that battle cry. Blood Crusher, though, gets rid of them, and they should be able to get at least a decap here, Piano, on this VP, and a power bash maybe. 470, 330. How are they going to respond to the Dreadnought? You can get some Havocs up, that's not bad. Counter initiate the Assault Marine jump and then try to reposition to shoot the Dreadnought maybe. Here it is, starts off in full on close combat mode with a wrist mounted flamer too. Where's the jump? There it is. Lake Champion levels to 2. Finally. There's the counter jump from the Raptors. A Merciless Strike there and a Demonic Fury or Demonic Strength, whatever that thing is called. I think it's Demonic Fury. Dreadnought going in on the Blood Crusher now. Blood Crusher started it. Uh-oh. Force Commander drops. A decent engagement for Piano despite meeting a Dreadnought. Uh-oh. They went for it. They went for that Doom Blast knowing that they were going to die to the grenade. So nice grenade from BBBOS. This is a very brave Blood Crusher. A Dreadnought will smack a Blood Crusher down pretty easily, even under Worship. I think he's going to try and repair it as well. It's not going to work. Yeah, down it goes. Just disappears back to the warp. Piano all of a sudden looking a little bit depleted. I thought the Blood Crusher were just going to leave there, but tried to fight. Didn't work out too great. Now some Plague Marines for Piano. BBBOS might be able to turn this around. Force Commander's back on his feet too. Level 2 tax. There's that shotgun blast. Notice there that BBBOS had to wait a few seconds. There's no indication of when that knockback immunity ends. 359 to 330, 1-to-1 cap on the VPs. Chaos Space Marines getting caught by the Force Commander, gives them a bolt pistol shot for good measure. Assault Marines capping mid. We got scouts. What are they up to? Just going mid to hang out, have a chat. Expected BBBOS to push a little bit more after taking the Blood Crusher out. But they're playing it safe. Dreadnought was kind of low. I thought the Assault Marines and attacks would go after the power or something. There we go. Plague Marines getting their shots in. That snaring missile launcher, but now they get jumped. Touch of Nurgle Heretics though, and that's what they can do. Big damage and a heal with knockback on death. Plague Marines continue to get shots in, but repairs are also happening. And here comes a Thunderhammer Force Commander. Bad news for the Raptors. In fact, I think they're going to go down. Yes, they do. Dreadnought gets the hit, and that is bad news for Piano. Now you have a teleporting Force Commander to deal with. And it's just mincing things, as you can see. Dreadnought's been awesome so far. Blood Crusher for Piano, I don't think it's going to work out too great. But it's rough. Very tough. Hasn't dealt with the Dreadnought. Has the Plague Marines. A las cannon would be great, but I think he's just worried about getting jumped and it getting pushed off the field without doing anything. Especially now that there's a teleporting Force Commander that could also tie up a setup team. What do you do then? You have to like double up on Plague Marines, I guess. Or get your own Dreadnought, which is risky. These guys going to drop a model? Nope, apparently not. Chaos Space Marines haven't leveled yet. Here is that second Blood Crusher. Not sure what the plan is with this guy. I guess chop up Marines as much as possible and avoid the Dreadnought's Wrath, which has now been fully repaired and it's level 2, this guy. Trying to avoid the main army at the moment is Piano. There's a multi-melter coming in for the Dreadnought. Powerful short-range weapon, effective against all targets. Very fun to see. Not often you get to see this thing. Because of its short range, I suppose. It loses its melee resistance. Look at that though. Look at the damage to the Blood Crusher there. Often you'll see multi-melter Dreadnoughts used in melee stance, so they'll naturally just chase those scouts. Gonna power bash now. Old Smelter just ripping stuff apart. Triple cap is in, and look how blue the map is. Piano's not giving up. Look like friendly fire there from that missile, but I don't think that happens on missiles. Maybe I'm wrong. Dreadnought's now level 3 and are decapping the power. Here comes a Predator tank for Piano. That was the plan. Shoot the Dreadnought. It's a pretty good plan. These guys don't have their Melter Bomb. They never bothered to get it against the Blood Crushers. Could do some work, the tank, but is it going to be able to do enough? Quickly enough? Uh-oh. Okay, our Space Marines are going to die, I think. Dreadnought will just chase them in. Oh, missed that shot, did it? There we go. Is that 2 squads of Plague Marines? Or is it just a weird display glitch? I think it's just a glitch. Plague Marines are done for. It's just the tank and the heretics. Here it is. Uh-oh. Some more attacks being dropped in, I think. Gonna get a missile launcher or something. Oh, it's just a drop pod that reinforces stuff. Okay, didn't quite work for those scouts, though, did it? Now teleporting back is the Force Commander. Tank getting too close to a Dreadnought here. They're trying to finish off the Force Commander. Hasn't had time to get a mark yet, but here come Assault Marines to try and grab the VP now. Yano fighting to the end. But a Dreadnought gets to kill this thing now, level 4. It's been awesome. And there's a GG indeed. BBB OS brings it back to 1-1 in the series. And I'll see you guys in Game 3. Hey people, Intrude here, welcome back to Game 3 of this Elite League quarter-final. We're on Judgment of Carrion and BBBOS, old Triple B over here, has got an Inquisitor, an offensive hero with powerful control abilities. Begins in melee combat but can get specialized ranged weapons up against Piano with a Warp Spider Exarch. Teleporting hero that fights in ranged combat by default. Powerful control abilities and lots of annoying harassment. They're going to cap this power and then annoy the Inquisitor, I bet you. Double Dire Avengers here for Piano. Lots been said about the relative power of Imperial Guard in 1v1s, especially early game. I think Eldar can deal with it a little bit better. Double Shurikens is awesome. And even Rangers can really help you out, bursting down Sentinels or using their kinetic pulse to like stop repairs and stuff. And then of course they can come out swinging in tier 2 with Wraith Guard and Falcons relatively quickly. Oh, look at this. Gets the decap on the natural power of BBB OS, and this one's loaded. Trying to maneuver around and keep that decap going. Look at that, teleporting to the other side. Can they get it done? I think they can. Oh, he retreated too early. Retreated too early, did Piano. Yeah, expect... What are these guys? How did they die? They just run into the wall. Did he trip over those pipes, fellas, and smack your head? And these guys don't really want to approach with heavy cover there, I don't think. This wreck point wasn't taken. Maybe the guardsmen shot at them and they backed away. Looks like BBB OS is looking at Catachans or, well, probably spotters when they see the Guardian weapon team. But the Catachans can disrupt and counter them too. Sentinel's going to get a flank on these Dire Avengers here. Single cap early on for BBB OS, and there is the flanking Sentinel doing its thing. Yeah, bad place to be, guys. Bad place to be. Warp Spiders come back out of base. Going to go for the VP most likely. Can't really bash. 2 generators going up. They've now spotted the Guardian weapon team, so how do they respond? I think it might be Catachans, because you can also set up some nasty melee retreat kills on these flanks. No, it's spotters. Okay, fair enough. They're going to drop some mortar shells on the guarding weapon team's faces. And there's a second shuriken on the way for Piano. Just pouring all of their power into those as soon as possible. Can really control the mid with two of them. It's going to be tough for BBBOS. Are they going to get catechins as well? I mean, you can disrupt one and smoke the other. So that's possible. Warp Spider did take the VP and is now harassing power. Very, very slowly bashing it. And BBBOS responds. These guys do have las guns. I don't think the damage is particularly impressive. They've got big old scopes on them. Look at that. And there's the first spotter shell. What is it going to be? It's the mortar. Getting those guys out there. There's a second. That's going to be smoke. Reducing the range and weapon range and vision range of those shuriken cannon fellas. Looks like they're just going to try and wait it out. Now it's one off. Now it's one off. Sentinel gets the ground pound, breaks things, and gets a stop. And then gets away. Can they pour enough damage into the Sentinel to take it down? There's that suppression. Looks like it's targeting the guardsman rather than the Sentinel there. Another mortar shell coming in. Pretty annoying. Very annoying, in fact. Inquisitor coming out of base. Eastern side. These guys are going to decap the power, looks like. Where's the other fellas? There they are. Can they make any kind of progress in the mid here? Still a 2-to-1 cap for BBBOS. There's another shell. It's the smoke. And Inquisitor coming in from a flanking position. They're dealing with the shurikens very well here. I was expecting the Warp Spider to be able to get in there and tie up things or something a little bit sooner. But those spotter fellas doing some work. They're going to bash a generator too. Setting up again. But it's going to eat another shell here. Don't actually have the vision to shoot. Here's some Dire Avengers. No aspects. Going straight to tier 2 is Piano. Did not want to stick around in tier 1 any longer than they had to. Not going for some cheeky grenade throws or anything. Got some kills there. In fact, some guardsmen were wiped out. That's a little bit sloppy from BBBOS. I wasn't even paying attention. But they just got shot down, I think. 1-to-1 cap here. Piano getting tier 2 in really good time. Really good time. Feels like a 6-minute tier 2 or something. Looks like we are going to get some aspects as the tier 2 is coming along. I'd like to see some Wraith Guard. Watching those guys blow stuff up is fun. But we'll see. These guys just covering this approach right now. Sentinel took a lot of damage. Tier 2 now for BBBOS. Well timed and well placed. Spotter shell right in the faces of those Dire Avengers. Are they trying to close for a grenade? What are they up to? And there's the smoke. Don't think it affected the shuriken. No, it didn't. Dire Avengers are getting a cap in the mid. There's a webway and a power bash. Piano has struck back very well. Amazing how much difference it makes. Well, I guess it's not that amazing. Just dropping that one guardsman squad. And not replacing it as well, which is surprising. Really pegs back BBBOS 481 to 350. Looks like those guys are going to grab the mid, although they're quite low. They're going after it. They are going after it, but it's... Oh! Did not wait for the cap. Did not like the Inquisitor coming in there. Going to try a Hammer of the Witches to kill one. Oh, got out of range. Bashing close range shuriken fire. Gets the job done. Now refacing into a strange direction. They're over here, guys. Eat a mortar shell anyway. It's Stormtroopers on the way for BBBOS, and we do see some Wraith Guard. They're getting their Spirit Seer leader to help them see and move. It's a little guide dog or something for them. Decapping now. Can they stop the decap? Wraithguard don't care about being suppressed, but I think they are going to get disrupted by the artillery spotters. Looks like they stopped the cap at least, but the decap did go ahead. I don't think those guys have spotted the webway yet. No detectors, and they haven't quite got close enough. BBBOS cancelling the stormtroopers, having spotted the Wraithguard, and goes for some Ogrins, which is understandable. Wraithguard's big weakness is melee. Otherwise, this is what they do to you. These shots do massive amounts of AoE damage, and they suppress infantry. Just bad news. Very good at bashing power, it turns out, too. Oh, they did get the stormtroopers as well. Here they are, dumbass. Good grenade. Gone for the assault kit. I thought those guys were cancelled, but I wasn't looking at the roster well enough, apparently. Here are the Ogrins. Heavy melee squad. They can break lines and smack things up for you. Might need to ground target with the Wraithguard to try and suppress them. Not great at hitting moving targets because their weapons have a wind-up. Here are the Ogrins. Are they going to charge right now? There's the the bonehead leader, and they eat some shots on the Wraithguard. Double grenades going in, and they are dealt with. The shurikens, of course, can also suppress them. Inquisitor with the Interrogator's armor to try and infiltrate those Ogrins to get them in. Wraithguard are going to get stomped. Oh, they didn't knock over the Wraithguard models, so maybe they are immune to regular weapon knockback, and the spotter shell won't knock them over. There's crack shots on the Wraithguard. That's a global ability of the Warp Spider. I believe it gives you more range and more damage, or maybe it's just more range. Ogrins are back out. They've healed up those nasty Wraithguard shots, mostly. There's some late rangers here for Piano to help spot the silently Ogrins, like that. And a sniper's always useful. Wraithguard able to get shots while capping there. That was pretty handy. There's that spotter shell. Needed to do that before the Ogrins got into range, I guess. 436 to 340. Piano looking in a decent position, but BBBOS is still dangerous. Can set up a push with good usage of the spotters. And more stormtroopers on the way, so potentially big ranged burst damage that could maybe shoot down a shuriken if it wasn't prepared. Grenade misses. Nice idea though. Kicking off in the mid. Rangers are spotted and almost shot to death. Very nearly shot to death. Ogrins are being suppressed. But that's a lot of firepower onto the shuriken there. And of course you can't suppress a sentinel. 428 to 335. Made their way into the mid then. I think Piano's going to cap the eastern side. Is that what they're doing? You fellas? Yeah, you are. Just weirdly split up. Sentinel's almost done for. It is done for. Warp Spider Exarch gets the kill. It has the entangling web. Another way to stop the Ogrins being so scary. I assume it also... Oh no, Wraithguard might go down. I assume it also increases the damage of his base weapon. 34 DPS seems like an increase. Wraithguard have escaped. Ogrins again, not really able to get in there. They are soaking up a hell of a lot of damage and attention though. Piano now trying to split and cap. Trying to get that triple going. Does have a VP deficit to make up. Inquisitor's here. Not sure she's going to stop them. But we'll see. Nope. Didn't want to risk that. I think she might have got in there, but wouldn't be able to stick around for too long anyway. Tier 3 for Piano. They have a massive roster here to manage. Doing a good job so far. Surprised that BBBOS did not replace that Guardsman squad. Maybe they would have been around to repair that Sentinel when it needed it. Can the Ogrins get in this time? They can. Did not see kinetic pulse used. Maybe it's on cooldown or something. They've got their hand. There it is. They've got their hands on the Wraithguard for a while. Then they got knocked over. 397 to 325. but they just brute forced their way through. Did not drop a model there. These guys are super heavy infantry, so they do have good natural resistance to piercing damage, which is what all of these units are doing basically, aside from Wraithguard, which they tied up. Yep, they killed one of the shurikens. Well done, lads. Spotters are not capping, they're just hanging out in the mid. What is this? Stormtroopers? Yep. Global ability stormtroopers for BBBOS. Now has 3 of them. That's a massive amount of burst damage coming in from long range, and now a heavy weapon squad. Warp Spider can teleport in and tie them up, of course, but that means they're not doing other things they might want to do, like entangling web. Our Avengers are going to be overrun. Can they throw a grenade before they run away? No. They're grabbing the mid back and grabbing the east side back. BBBOS was really quick to cap up there. Has the 2-to-1. Warp Spider X-Arc coming in to tie up these fellas. It does have a special attack too. Maybe we'll see it. Looks like we're not going to see it. Come on, fella. Do the fancy Warp Spider spin. You know you love it. Guess not. Wraithguard need to be careful. They do friendly fire with those big old Wraith cannons. Shuriken eventually suppresses those guys. But is now going to eat a mortar shell. Needs to run away. Retreated just in time. The Inquisitor there infiltrating himself. Piano's in tier 3 though. And I'm surprised I haven't seen the Fire Prism yet. Maybe they want an avatar. That'll be fun. And you guys gonna bash power? What are you up to? They have their Commissar. Sneaky Dire Avengers out of the webway. Maybe a grenade. They just want to decap right now. 393 to 263. 2-to-1 for BBBOS. Grenades in retreat path. Oh, that's a really good one. Only got 2 models though. Slightly unlucky there. What are these fellas doing? There you go. Turn around. Crack shot on the Wraithguard, but they miss him. They miss him. Shuriken needs to switch targets. Can these guys get a big volley? They can. That was nasty. With that crack shot up. It's still up as well. How long does it last? Now it's faded off. Meanwhile, the Dire Avengers did grab the western side. Looks like they got rid of the guardsmen too, who have retreated. We have a Seer Council. Okay then. They will chop up the Ogrins very well, which is one of the biggest threats on the field now for Piano to deal with. So I guess it's a sound choice. We're just expecting a Fire Prism. Looks like 5 Warlocks with Power Melee Witchblades. They're pretty damn good. Also provide a really helpful 15% range damage reduction aura, which they themselves benefit from. And as you can see, they are chopping through the Ogrins with relative ease. They've already killed 1, 2 in fact. Might get another on retreat here. They do. Ogrins cannot stand up against Seer Council. The Inquisitor goes down as well. Look at the disruption from their leap. They themselves got a mortar shell. Just mincing through Stormtroopers now. They killed 1. Pretty damn effective first engagement. They're already level 2. Like halfway through it. That was nasty. 390 to 212 hit. Using that web weight. Must have spotted it now. Grenade does not get a kill. Some tough Eldar. Those guys going for the VP on that side. It's going to be a 2-to-1 again, I think, just reversed. What does BBOS do about these Seer Council fellas? Catechins? Do you get Catechins up at this stage to try and keep them controlled? Or do you just focus fire as much as you can? Inquisitor's down. Could repurchase her, get the crippling volley crossbow bolt pistol type thing, or excruciators. She's back. Is this going to be the answer? She's going Holy Brazier. That is an odd choice at this stage of the game. to go for a power weapon with some area denial. When you can get the crossbow bolt pistol and cripple those Seer Council. Well, the Holy Brazier is up. I was not expecting that. Maybe she just wants to get in there and fight the Seer Council. Warp Spider Exarch going for phaser armor right now. Bashing power too. That webway's done wonders over there. We have some infiltrated stuff going on. Stormtroopers can infiltrate themselves. Here we go. That's a lot of damage so fast on the Shuriken. Can they kill it? One more burst. One more burst is enough. And that was only 2. That wasn't even the 3 that they had before. See, Council. Eat a grenade. Inquisitors getting in there too. They don't have much support here, but they are mincing Stormtroopers anyway. Eat another grenade. Still haven't dropped a model. There we go. They do drop 2, 3. Need to be careful, guys. Warp Spider gets in and ties up the heavy weapon squad. They are happy to fight this Inquisitor down to 2 models, and they get her with some support from the Dire Avengers. Here come more Rangers for Piano. These guys still tied up, 297 to 212. Wraithguard getting shots as well as they cap. Here's the Ogrins back. Level 2, these guys. So webway each side, which is giving Piano some good map control. Gotta love the webway bug, says Piano. Does something get stuck in a webway? Maybe this one? Oh, these Rangers are stuck. That's why they got some more. But as I don't know, if you order a unit into a webway that has a setup time and you do it before they have torn down their special weapon, such as Rangers, can get your stuff stuck. Usually happens to Shurikens. An unfortunate bug that's, after all these years, no fix has been found. Those guys were trying to take out the webway. Here's another one on the way. Grenades going in. The webway was dealt with. But these Seer Council have been brutal. Absolutely brutal. They're going to hit level 4 here. Oh, not quite. There's that triple for Piano. Oh, did they not bother with the second Rangers? Okay. I'm not sure if destroying the webway fixes it for you. Maybe they could try grenading the webway or something. Big push now for BBB OS. There's the phase shift, just messing up all those guys. The Inquisitor was repurchased again, level 3 now. Still has interrogators. Ogrins are annoyed, but now they have to fight a Seer Council. Spotter Shell's a good hit. It's a good hit. They got at that initial knockdown on the Seer Council, but once they stand up again, it's just bad news for Ogrins. My goodness. Level 4, 3802 hit points on these guys. Ogrins were wiped. There's a GG. Eldritch on base as well. And there it is. It's now 2-1 in this best of 5 series. Very solid performance for Piano. Even lost their Rangers to the webway bug and pulled through. Started off strongly, did BBBOS. And Piano made the right choices. Got that tier 2 up nice and quick. Got the double shurikens. And played the map very well, I thought, with the webways and stuff. What do we see? Level 5 Warp Spider, level 3 Inquisitor. And I'll see you guys in game 4. Hey people, Intrid here, back with Game 3 of this Elite League quarter-final. This is Fedrid Folly, and on the blue side, BBBOS has a Plague Champion. Starts off in ranged combat with a damage of a time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair. But it's pretty slow. On the red side, Piano, who's 2-1 up here with a mech boy. Teleporting hero that fights in ranged combat, lots of orky gadgets, giving him great versatility. We have this raised platform with a natural VP in the north and the west, and a contested all the way over in the southeast edge. Double shooters. We have CSM into some more heretics. Expect a whole bunch of Dakar in the faces of said heretics. Looks like the two heroes are going to meet here. Plague Champion can't take cover if he wants to cap. Looks like the mech boy is not going to bother either. There we go. Teleports behind him so he can't shoot back. Repositions there. Does BBBOS. Is he going to get into melee? No, just runs behind him again. Sluggers capping the southeast contested. Here comes some shooter boys. They are not going to cap, they're going to shoot. Finishes it though, the Plague Champion. Heretics don't want to get involved right now. There we go. They're ready to roll. Who are they going to go for though? CSM get in behind the shooter boys there and deal with them. Worked out all right in the end for BBBOS. Can now come and mop up these points in the northwest. Meanwhile, Mech Boy teleported back and is decapping. Oh, he's trying to. The Stinky Bolter had other ideas. Sluggers will cap up the southeast. This is noded, so the Mech Boy can't steal that. Could go for this though. No upgrades for the shooter boys yet. And no aspiring champions or anything. Everyone's just busy capping. Plague Champion did not take the time to heal up. He's going to shoot some stuff. Like, hey, a Mech Boy. Just really pissed off at all these teleporting shenanigans. Heretics trying to get into melee with shooter boys. But Piano gets them moving quite quickly. Mech Boy escapes. There's a Doom Blast on these fellas. Gonna need to retreat. There we go. Here comes some Dakar. And Heretics only dropped 2 models there. That's pretty good. They had a bit more support if the CSM were in play. But I've got some good work done. Slugger's trying to finish off the Plague Champion, but does get away. And they're going after the CSM. This can be a close fight. CSM versus default Sluggers in melee, especially if they can get some good shots as the Sluggers come in. Looks like they're not going to try that now. They're waiting for some Heretic buddies to Doom Blast them. If you can get as much shots as you can as these Sluggers come in, and then make sure you force melee combat on them to hit them as they retreat and stuff. CSM can hold their own okay against Sluggers, especially if they have the Eternal War upgraded. But of course Sluggers can get burners and stuff. Here's a Pain Boy. Sub-commander for Orcs in tier 1. Has a heal over time and a damage over time melee attack. And burners are up. There is the heal over time, the Git source. Raptors jumping in though on some shooter boys. Sluggers turn to counter initiate and forces a retreat. Pain Boy there to help him out. The heal over time has already been used. Not sure what the cooldown is, but not short enough for them to try and engage over there. Heretics with an aspiring champion. He's a Chaos Marine. Bolt Pistol and Chainsword increases the health of the other models, which in turn makes their Doom Blast do more damage since that scales off health. And he's decent in melee himself. Not sure what his stats are actually, the old aspiring champion. Pain Boy ran off as well. I guess going to try and just run straight for the Raptors when they jump. And BBBOS is going to have to follow in and support them. Maybe with some touch of Nurgle shenanigans. It's always very satisfying when you jump Raptors in and they get swarmed, and you know how you have touch of Nurgle ready to put on them. Since touch of Nurgle, damage of that also scales to the model's level, model's health rather. So you get a bigger explosion if a Raptor dies rather than a Heretic, which is handy. These guys getting chopped up though. They do get their jump. Sluggers will chase them. Plague Champion getting shots in. It's a messy fight though. Shooter Boys had to full on retreat with their Mech Boy. But Sluggers and Pain Boy are staying in play, are they? They're backing away. Taking some shots from the Plague Champion, and there's some worship for the Raptors. Try and get them healed up. Needs to grab the VP back to 453 to 419. Double cap here for BBBOS, but Piano has gone tier 2, and a Death Dread could really mess this up. BBBOS has like 45 seconds or something to wait before they have the power. So they're going to be behind for sure. An early vehicle can do wonders. And Orcs have a pretty good one. Sluggers meeting Heretics. Also getting shot up by CSN. That was not a good little fight. I guess they got the decap, did they? Lake Champion being tied up by the mech boy with those kicks and left hooks and overhand gun smashes. All seem pretty painful, to be honest. Teleports up to forward cap. Are you fellas going to jump? Nope. You might jump these guys though. There it is. And I don't think... yeah, they're not even going to wait around for the decap there. Would have started dropping models very quickly. Meanwhile, power bashed by Heretics, both with an aspiring champion. Sluggers getting in. Looks like they got... is that one generator and that's it? So not too bad for Piano, who's in tier 2. Weird Boy would be really dangerous. Death Dread it is though, on the way. A melee walker vehicle. Starts off with like 700 hit points, I think. Or is it 600? I think it's 600. But you can get the burners and bits, giving it some more hit points and some burners, which is handy for bashing gens. Which is what they're often used for. They march forward, bash some gens, and then just kill what they can before they fall over. Trying to focus fire this Pain Boy here. There's that heal over time. And they're still chasing. No sign of unholy stench or anything. Here's some Nurgle worship. And they spotted the other heretics coming in and did not want to stay in play there. Pain Boy just ran off. 453 to 305. Here is the Death Dread. Gets the burners and bits. Looks like it has it looks like it has 650 out the gate. And this takes it up to 950. There's the Cult of Speed global from the Mech Boy, increasing its movement speed and reducing the cooldown of ranged weapons. Just getting it into the gens, and now it's burning them down. It's not a whole lot BBBOS can do about it. Got a Blood Crusher on the way. I assume the Death Dread wins that fight because it's got melee resist and more hit points. But I think the Blood Crusher actually has more raw DPS. So with worship and stuff, it might be close. Here's Raptors with an aspiring champion. Who needs a helmet when you have a big old melee weapon? Sluggers get their knob leader just as one other one falls over. Using their Swampum to get in. There's the heal over time. Can they camp and tank? I think. Because I'm weird like that. Where's the Plague Marines? They're far away from everything. CSM in heavy cover. Don't have a ton of war. Just their good old bolters. And a seething hate for everything. Which will get you pretty far in the grim darkness of the far future. The Blood Crusher has taken some damage already. Never got healed up again. The Raptors have their aspiring champion. There's some Nurgle worship, which will benefit all of this stuff. And they're going after the Death Dread, which is in turn tying up the Plague Marines. Meanwhile, Sluggers with their Swampum getting in on some CSM, and that's bad news for those fellas. Raptors jumping back now to suppress the double shooters, and they do a great job. Tore them up too. Oh, they lost all of those CSM there, BBBOS, and the Plague Champion also goes down. Can they get the Death Dread though? Sluggers have been marauding. There's Touch of Nurgle, those bad news. But I think, yeah, they were chopping up the Raptors, and these guys just never bothered to Doom Blast when they had Touch of Nurgle. That was very strange. What was that all about? Blood Crusher might be done for here. Took a couple of shots, I think, from the Beamy. Can it kill the Death Dread? It can't, but maybe Heretics can? Blood Crusher falls. Death Dread lives with 14 hit points and survives. That could be GG. BBBOS lost a whole bunch of stuff there. Couple of Raptor models, including the aspiring champion, CSM, and a Blood Crusher, and the Plague Champion fell too. Those guys were caught out of position quite badly. Double Plague Marines here. I mean, you don't just get them for their missile launcher. They are very good generalist unit, pretty tough, explode on death, have some damage over time bolters of their own. They don't do huge amounts of damage, but they'll help. They actually take a huge amount of damage from shooter boys though, because lots of piercing, and Plague Marines are actually regular infantry. They don't have heavy armor on. They just have tons of health and health regen. 342 to 226 on the VPs is a 2-1 for BBBOS, but Piano looking okay, especially with that Death Dread now repaired up. BBBOS having to invest in 2 Plague Marines now, which I'm sure they weren't planning on. Raptors are still around level 2 now, fully healed and reinforced. It's some big shooters, pretty late for the shooter boys. And there's some Dakar. Not sure what they're doing now. There we go. Get into cover, fellas, or something. Wonder if the mech will purchase something to get rid of this Beamy. You cannot switch back to your default weapon in Dawn of War 2. If you want a new weapon, you've got to buy a new one. They just drop the other one and throw it away. Smack. But does Heretics live? No. Burned to death. Not looking great for BBBOS, and this would seal the match for Piano if they can win it. It would take them to 3-1. But it's not over yet. There's that battery pack heal there from the mech boy. And there's some Nurgly worship. And this guy's burning gens again. Plague Marines on the other side of the map. Sluggers level 2, they've done really well with that Pain Boy support. Does have the stronger Git source. Also gets the unstable fuel injection, I believe, for free once he gets into tier 2, which allows you to detonate an orc for some damage and stuff. There's another Touch of Nurgle. Didn't get good usage out of it there. We've seen it used a couple of times before this when it wasn't, when nothing happened, like just backed them away or didn't Doom Blast them. It was a little bit strange. Few shots going in here. Plague Champion should be able to get a missile launcher in tier 3 or something. That'd be cool. 295 to 213. Raptors jumping away and fleeing. Taking a whole bunch of Dakar. Keeping up the 2-1 cap here, BBBOS. Although looks like it might switch into a triple. At least a double. As Piano gets the natural back. Death Dread is hanging out on the southeastern corner. Looking after the VP, probably going to get some repairs from the mech. Maybe. He's thinking hard about it. Here's some Daka. Damage is pouring onto those Plague Marines, but they do not drop a model. Then anyway. There's that triple now for Piano. Are these heretics enough to deter these sluggers? I don't think they have another touch of Nurgle. There's the heal over time, stronger Git Source. And it makes it way stronger. It's like doubly effective, I think. GG, says BBB OS. It's getting swarmed here. Well played by Piano. He used the slug as well. The Pain Boy, which you don't see all that often, did great. And double shooters did their thing. That loss over here of the CSM, and then chasing the Blood Crusher, well, rather chasing the Death Dread with the Blood Crusher and losing it. It was kind of the beginning of the end for BBBOS, but it was a cool series. Piano takes it 3-1 and gets into the semi-final. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.